Hey guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to YouTube setups. I really like to pick apart a setup, look at the lighting, listen to the sound, and really look at that space. So in this little video, I was going to say series, but we're going to turn it into a series depending on how well this video goes. I'm going to be trying to replicate the lighting setup in what is now Senpai Gaming. I always knew it as Alpha Gaming, but this guy knows how to light a scene, or somebody else he knows does. The lighting in every single video is absolutely spot on. It doesn't matter if his studio is an absolute mess, it's always beautifully lit. So without any further ado, I'm going to try and replicate it. Now obviously it's not going to look exactly the same because my office doesn't look exactly like his. But I am going to try and replicate everything that he's got going on in his scene. So we might as well start off at the beginning, and I think that should be camera placement. And just by looking at the scene, I think he's roughly about 24mm. And to be honest, I think he might be using this exact setup. This is a Sony a6400 with a 16mm 1.4 lens on it. I know he's a big Sony fan, but he does dabble with other cameras, so I would be really interested to know what camera he's actually using, but this is my guesstimate. And although I'm not shooting on that exact setup, I think I'm very, very close. Oh, apologies if you can hear the aircon unit as well over there. It's like 400 degrees in here. Let's move on to lighting, and to me it looks like he's using quite a big softbox which is mounted just up to his right hand side. I currently have a light mounted in the same position, but we haven't got a generic parabolic softbox up there, we've got a lantern. So the first thing I'm going to do is swap that out and see if we can get a closer match to his lighting. Okay, so now that's set up, I think it's looking better, but it's not perfect yet. I think it needs to lift up a little bit more and come around the front. You can see from the fall off that's on his left cheek that he has got a little bit of light spilling over onto that side of his face, whereas mine isn't quite as much. So let's move it around a little bit. I think it needs to be moved around, and I think it needs to be angled up because he's got a really nice catch light as well in his eye. Okay, do we have a catch light? I think we do. It's really hard because my monitor's actually up here and the light's up there. So if I look up to my monitor, the catch light disappears. But I think this is roughly what he's using. It's not going to be too far off this. I know he's a massive fan of Elgato and they do those little stream panels, but I really don't think that's what he's using to light this scene. So the next thing that I want to look at is his hair light, and that's the one thing that really makes him pop out of that frame. And I think he's probably using something like a cob light, something like this, probably a little bit more expensive than this one, and this one's actually started to deteriorate quite badly, so it keeps falling off the stand. And I imagine he's got a Fresnel lens on the front of it. Now a Fresnel lens allows you to focus that light into a really concentrated beam. I don't actually have one. So if anyone wants to send me one, I'd be very appreciative because I really, really want one. What we are going to use is this standard Bowens. I don't even know what you would call this, but it came with the light and I think it will do the job very nicely. Something else I really like about this scene is that tiny little bit of lens flare you get in the top right hand corner. I do wonder whether he's using some kind of anamorphic lens, because it just looks so damn good. But let's rig this up, point it at the back of my head and see what effect this has. Okay, so you can see this scene is starting to come together. That light is slightly too low. Let's just move it up a little bit. Okay, so we're not perfect, but I don't think we're that far away from where he's got that light positioned. And like I said, if I had a Fresnel lens, it would be that much better. But I have used this light in the past to do this exact thing. A lot of my other cob lights don't go dim enough, so this is just about dim enough, and that's on its minimum power setting. I am a little bit concerned that he might have a tiny little bit of fill on this side of his face, but we're going to leave it like that for the moment. The next lights we're going to add are the incidentals, the lights that you can just place around the scene to make it look pretty. Now I don't have a meter long LED tube, but I do have this little thing, so we're just going to turn this on and see if we can get it roughly the right color temperature. So I reckon we're going to be about there. That doesn't look too bad. So let's pop that over in the left-hand side of my space. Okay, it needs to be about 10 times longer, but you get the idea. So the next thing that I think he's got in his setup is something shooting over to the left, and it's blue. There's not really a lot to go on other than I think it is actually quite a powerful light. Now what I'm going to be using for this is a really old stage light that I've got. It's just an LED power can, and it doesn't really have the same effect, but that might be due to how much stuff I actually have on my desk over there, and it might be due to the fact that it's a completely different light. But let's turn it on and take a look. Okay, so we need to move some stuff out of the way. Let's move this microphone. Okay, I mean, it's not identical. The color's a little bit different. Mine's a little bit more contrasty, but you know, it's just a hint of blue over that side of the room. I am going to move it just a little bit more to try and stop it lighting up this blue frame. Okay, I think we're definitely getting there. The last real piece of the puzzle is that nice big spotlight that he's got on his back wall, and I am seriously running out of lights, but let's give it a go. I have one more light that I could use. I don't really know how I'm going to rig it, but let's just see what happens. So just for your reference, this is the Weelight Ninja 300. Weelight are part of the company Viltrox, so if you've ever heard of Viltrox, then these guys are the same company, and I'm going to use this tiny little version of what I used for that, which I still don't know the name of them. I mean, there must be a name for it. There's gonna be a name for it, but I just, for the life of me at the moment, I can't think what that name is. Right, let's get that off. Get this on. Mounting. Let's just turn it on and see what it actually looks like, because it might look terrible. And I have a feeling it's gonna have to be mounted quite a long way back, because I've got rafters in my roof, which are going to be in shot if it's mounted to those. We'll give it a go. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens. And as you can tell, this is quite a big bodge, but it's what I like to do. I like to just sit in here and play and see what I can come up with. I need a spigot basically, so I can attach this light to this clamp. Where is one? We have a spigot. I hope this works. It's a fairly bright light, and it's coming from the same side as that blue light, and that little semicircle that's cut out of the frame, that might be it. I'm sure we will be able to find out if I can figure out how to attach this to this. So whilst I'm doing this, if you like this kind of thing, if you want to see more of this, let me know in the comment section below. This is just my, what day is it today? Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening entertainment. Seeing how close I can get basically before I go to bed. So if you want to see me do more of these, there's a couple of channels that I'd really like to do, but if there's a channel you'd like me to do, let me know in the comment section below. So what we're going to do is mount that up in that corner, probably about here. That might work. Let's give it a go. Okay, we're going to need the lead, which isn't in the bag. Oh, I've already taken it out. Okay, so a couple of things have jumped out at me straight away. One is the fact that I think his space is much bigger than mine. From me to that wall is probably 3.5 meters. I reckon he's got at least 4.5 meters, and again I think he's got a Fresnel lens on that light to allow him to focus it, to give it that really harsh edge. I unfortunately don't have anything like that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can do to really define the edge of that frame, make it a bit bigger. I could move it back. If I moved it back quite a bit, would that work? His wall is substantially bigger than my wall, that's the problem. I'm just going to move it back just to see. Okay, I don't think, sorry I keep looking over here, like I said I've got a monitor here. I don't think that looks too bad. I mean, it's not the same obviously because my set looks totally different, but I think we're not far off of the lighting that he's got going on in his scene. If I was going to use this kind of lighting in here, I'd probably say Alexa turn on gallery, like that. So I'd probably just have a little bit more accent lighting around me, but I love the color of this hair light, and this probably will be staying for future videos. Yeah, so not bad. Not a bad start. I don't think we're a million miles away. I think he's just got some very sexy lighting, and all of my lighting is relatively cheap, and I think this is pretty much as close as I could get to his setup. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Like I said, let me know of any other channels that you'd like me to try and replicate. Thanks for watching. See you again really soon.